Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is Pepper and Pine, and I have a chalk drawing to share with you today. We are doing an ancient China main lesson block for our homeschool, and today we're going to be drawing the Great Wall of China using chalks and a chalkboard with these two books as inspiration. I have Engineering Wonders, The Great Wall of China by Rebecca Strandborough and Ancient Civilizations China by Valerie Bowden. And I'm going to be using those images as inspiration for today's chalk drawing. I'm using my Sargent Art square chalk pastels, and I am also using my Waldorf Supplies chalkboards. These measure 2 feet by 3 feet, and I absolutely love them. So I'm going to start out by doing kind of a rough outline using some white chalk, and I am going to be doing kind of a merge of the two images that I saw in the book. And I get started with this, and very quickly I realize that I don't like it, and I'm going to erase it all and start all over again. So this time I am going to do the image that has the Great Wall sort of winding back and forth up the hills and then ending sort of towards the top with some hills in the background. And I really like the way this turns out, and I like having this kind of perspective, but I don't do it super well, and I end up having the last fortress at the very top a little bit too big in comparison to the rest of the Great Wall and the other fortresses along the way. So this was really challenging for me, even though it's a very simple chalk drawing. So I'm going to do all the easy stuff first, which is all of the green rolling hills, which are super beautiful, as well as the sky in the background. And I also gave it another layer of hills and mountains in the background, just using some gray chalk. And then for the hills, I'm using some green, and it's quite a vibrant green. And I think what probably would have been a little bit better is to do a bit more vibrant towards, say, the left half of the chalk drawing, and then kind of ease into a little bit more of the darker greens, because I am imagining that the sun is on the left side, that the shadows are kind of hitting the right side of the chalk drawing. But I don't do the shadows and that perspective all that well throughout, but doing a little bit actually goes a long way. So if you do have a chance to add a few shadows and a little bit of smaller images in the background and larger images in the foreground, it can really add a lot to your chalk drawing. I also have a bit of brown throughout the hills, and that is just mimicking some of the images in the book that probably show a little bit of some bare cliff faces, and then the rest is just green shrubbery. So for each of these fortresses, it was super challenging, but they all follow a similar pattern of having 2 layers of bricks and then some openings or windows on the top half. And then a lot of the bricks actually have a bit of a coral or peach color tone to them. I don't know if this was weathering or the type of bricks that were used. And so I do add that peach color throughout, but it doesn't show up quite as much. And I do use gray and black and white quite a bit in order to add some depth and detail to the fortresses on each of these hills that connect the Great Wall. And I do really like having those details. It really allows that image to pop, but it did take a really long time. And when you're working with similar colors and you're layering them, you start to lose detail. So it was a little bit challenging to get that detail, but I am super pleased with the way that it looks like in the end. Here's a closer look at the chalk drawing once it's done. You can also see more pictures on the blog post that accompanies this video. That link is down in the description box below. If you'd like to check out some of the other chalk drawings that I have on my channel, you can tap on the screen right now. If you'd like to see the rest of the videos for our Ancient China main lesson block, you can tap on the screen. That link is also in the description box below. If you want to see how we're homeschooling on a daily basis, you can find me on Instagram at Pepper and Pine.